Hey everybody, it's Morrissadead, undead hunter for the horde, level 66 hydraxis realm in World of Warcraft. And today I'm doing a video about PvP and dungeons. If you are just starting out on World of Warcraft, you're probably very curious about, what goes on PvP and how to do a dungeon. Well, I'm here to give you some insight and some advice about how to do both correctly and what to expect. Before I get into describing PvP and dungeons, though, I wanted to touch on something much more important beforehand, and that's you. That's your character. Before you hit level 15, there are things that you should be doing with your character. Very important things that will pay off later when you do dungeons and PvP. First thing you should be doing is knowing your character very well. Knowing what they're capable of, knowing their abilities, what their main strength is, what their weaknesses are. There are many videos on YouTube that talk about all the different factions and classes and types in World of Warcraft. I recommend finding the videos that match whatever it is you are, whether you're a hunter or healer. Watching those videos and getting a lot of great advice from a lot of great cool people who played the game and applying that to your character and knowing what to do. If you are a spellcaster, if you got different abilities like a hunter, practice using those abilities when you're out in field and you're killing humans or killing mobs or whatnot. Practice, 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 because dungeons and PvP can be quite intense. It's not like regular game where you get one or two members of a mob on you. There's going to be like a bunch of people around you and it can get confusing. So the more control you have over your character and the more you know what you can do, the better off you're going to be. If you get any kind of gear, clothing, armor, weapons, know what aspects on that armor or weapons or clothing work best for you and what ones don't, so you know what to put on and what to equip and which ones to leave alone. Example, I'm a hunter, so anything that has to do with intellect or spirit is not going to do me any good. It doesn't do my character any good. But if something has agility, that's what I'm looking for. So, like I said, know your character inside and out. Know what they can do. Know how to handle yourself when you're under attack. Practice everything you can before you hit level 15. When you hit level 15, you are eligible for dungeons. And dungeons have a lot of really great perks. One of the biggest ones is the amount of XP that you're going to get when you start doing dungeons. You can get almost 2 million in XP just for doing one single dungeon. It's like questing all day, but it only takes you a few minutes in a dungeon. You get like a little statue of goodies too at the end if you complete the dungeon. There's also the loot. It's a group loot, so everybody shares whatever money is picked up, and you can roll for whatever loot is available. Rolling mean you roll the dice and you might get it or somebody else might get it, depending if it's need or greed. Now, that's the perks of the dungeon. Now we're going to talk about the dungeon dynamics, which is really important. There are different roles that people play during a dungeon. There is the healer, there is the tank, and then there's the DPS, or damage per second. And the DPS people are hunters and warriors. And warriors, they do melee. Melee is where you go right up to somebody and you start fighting them. People like me, the hunters, we're more focused on a ranged weapon. We have to stand back and do our damage because we don't have the strength and resilience to withstand a big melee attack. So, like I said, that's where it's important to know your character and know what you're supposed to be doing. If you happen to take the part of the tank role or the healer, you'll be able to queue up for a dungeon and get taken in immediately. You won't have to wait as long as a hunter or a warrior, because the tank and the healer are the most coveted positions in the dungeon. Everybody's always looking for a tank or a healer raids, for dungeons and whatnot. When you go into a dungeon, here's how it plays out. The tank is the person who, he's first in line. He's the one completely out front. He goes first, or she goes first. And they're the one that takes all the aggro from the mob. There are no actual players in a dungeon. It's all like generated mob. But the tank is the one who goes out front first, and they take all the aggro from the mob. The warriors are right behind them, the ones who specialize in the melee. They are right behind the tank, doing some of the damage. The hunters are, standing back from a distance, doing their damage with their crossbow or gun, and the healer, it stands to the side and they keep an eye on their team and make sure that nobody dies in the dungeon. And if everybody works together and if everybody does their role, you all survive and you get your XP and the dungeon is a success. No matter what your role is though, don't try to do somebody else's role. Like if you're a hunter, if you're a warrior, don't try to play the part of the tank. Don't go out in front of the tank because the tank will get pissed off. If you happen to go into a dungeon and the tank isn't doing their job, leave the dungeon. Just leave, because you're going to die. The tank is there for a reason. He's there to focus the attack on him so you can do your killing and everybody stays alive and the healer's not having to work overtime to keep everybody focused. So don't do anybody else's job. Know what your role is. Play that role and no other. And everybody works together and they move together. You'll get to the dungeon, you'll get your XP, you'll get the loot, you'll get the money, and everybody's happy. Now, as far as PvP, that's a little bit different. It's a little more confusing. There are different battlegrounds for PvP. Like, one is the Gulch, and you do, like, capture the flag. And everybody just... I have done some PvP and I found it a little bit confusing. I didn't know where the flag was because nobody tells you, nobody talks to you. I just run off in the direction of where my teammates are going. But again, know your role, know what your weaknesses are, know what you can do to fend off the mob a little bit. You're going to get killed though. I will tell you that. You will get severely killed over and over and over and over and over again. Everybody has to go through it. And the reason why you're getting killed is not because you suck. It's because you have no resilience gear yet, and you're at a disadvantage for those people who do have it. And it's just, it can be quite confusing, and it can be quite frustrating to get killed that many times, but don't give up on it, because every time you go into a PvP, you're getting points. You're getting honor points. And you use those honor points to buy honor gear. And there are, I believe, 3 sets. There's one at level 60, there's one at level 70, and there's one at level 80. You can use those honor points to buy a great number of things, but your armor is the most important. You have your regular gear, which you use when you go to different regions and do whatever, and then you have your battle gear. And you can only get that with your honor points. So keep going into PvP, and, just accept the fact you're going to get killed and stomped. Get your honor points and, work your way up. When you get your gear, you'll last a lot longer, but just don't give up on it because you're getting killed left and right, because, like I said, everybody goes through that. You're just going to get squashed. So, I want everybody to have fun with World of Warcraft, have fun doing dungeons, have fun doing PvP. For those people that are more experienced and watching this video and you're thinking, I already know all this stuff. Well, it's not for you. It's for the beginners that don't know and haven't been through it yet. I'm just trying to prepare those people. If you have any questions, email me, and I'll try to answer them. I'll find somebody that can. So have a good one, and peace out, y'all. Bye-bye.